Come closer. The hollow has something for you tonight. The wind has changed direction, and with it, a sound, faint and folded, like paper dragged across old wood. Something waits. Somewhere behind the dream you didn't mean to enter. A note. A message. But whose, if your breath slows and the dark feels safe? Follow my voice and subscribe if you want to hear what the shadows will tell next time. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, what time is it for you? What city do you drift within tonight? And what image stayed with you? Now dim the lights, perhaps light a candle, and drift with me into the story. You don't remember falling asleep, but you remember waking here, not in your bed, not even clothes. You're standing, barefoot, on the tile floor of a hallway that smells of lavender and dust. There's no sound but the soft ticking of something far away, and the strange weight in your pocket. When you reach inside, your fingers close around something cold, a key dot old, brass, ornate. Its bow is shaped like a serpent biting its own tail. You don't recognize it, but it feels like you should. You look around. This place, it's like a house you almost rented once. Or maybe a room you visited during a thunderstorm. Each corner looks familiar, and just a little wrong. The wallpaper peels in soft, spiraled curls. The light bulb flickers, but not in a broken way. More like it's breathing. And then you see it. A door at the far end of the hallway. One you don't remember seeing when you first open your eyes. Its pale gray with no knob. Just a keyhole. You take a step. The floor creaks. Not loudly, just enough to remind you you are here, and this is real, or something like it. You move closer. The key is heavy now, or perhaps your hand is just tired. As you near the door, the ticking sound slows. Each tick stretched longer than the one before. Like the sound itself doesn't want to follow you here. You kneel and fit the key into the hole. It slides in with the sound of paper tearing. Click. The door opens inward, but not fully. Just wide enough for a whisper to slip through. The air beyond smells of dried roses and something metallic beneath. You hesitate, but the dream pulls you forward, the same way a memory pulls when you almost remember something, but not quite. Inside, the corridor is narrower, walls too close together. Like pages pressing on either side of you. There are no lights. Just a dim, powdery glow that seems to rise from the floor itself. And at the very end, a shape, something square, maybe wooden. You take a step, then another. The corridor doesn't echo. Your steps make no sound. Only your breathing marks the silence. Closer now. The shape becomes clearer. It's a small table, delicate, with curved legs like a spider's, and resting on it, a small glass box. Inside the box is folded paper, A note, but you don't open it. Not yet, because your hand is still in your pocket. And the key is gone. In its place is something else. A small, pressed flower, dry and blue, its petals crushed slightly, as though long hidden in a book. And suddenly, you remember she used to press flowers into your notebooks when you were young, when she still spoke aloud. But that was a long time ago, wasn't it? The note waits, and the ticking has stopped. Only the soft breathing of the walls remains, like the house is listening. And maybe, just maybe, so where is she? The dream doesn't shift. It settles like dust in a forgotten room. You haven't read the note. Not yet. It rests in its little glass box, perfectly centered, as if placed by careful hands. Her hands? You turn and find that the corridor behind you has changed. It's wider now and bathed in gray-blue light. The floorboards are soft underfoot, not carpet, but something that remembers softness. And along the left wall, for the first time, there's a window. You're sure it wasn't there before. No curtain. No latch, just a tall, narrow frame of clouded glass. The kind that smears the light into halos. You lean, and outside is a garden. But it's not your garden. Not anyone's garden, you know. Everything's taller than it should be. Ferns with velvet fronds, as tall as doors. Roses whose petals curl like paper ash. And the trees, they sway in windless air. Not toward one direction, but toward you. Like they're leaning in to see who's watching. You touch the glass. It's warm. A breath warmer than your fingers. Alive. Somehow. And then, as if responding to your thought, the window clicks. A sound like a fingernail on porcelain. You blink. The frame quivers, and slowly, it swings outward. No handle. No hinges you can see. Just a motion, patient and inevitable. A breeze slides in, but it smells wrong, faintly sweet, like spoiled fruit left too long in a wooden drawer. And threaded beneath, something drier. Like paper or hair you pull back. But the air follows you, curling into your nose, your throat, your thoughts. And in that air, a sound, not quite a voice, but syllables shaped from wind. You can't make them out. You step away. The corridor stretches slightly, not longer, exactly, but deeper. The kind of deeper that makes you think of wells and attics you never explored as a child. Your eyes adjust. There's another table further ahead, and resting on it, a second note. This one unfolded as though left in a hurry. You approach. The writing is hers. That looping curl of her LS. The way she dots her eyes with open circles, like little moons. But the words, they're incomplete. Don't follow. The wind, it says. It doesn't know your name anymore. You read it again, and something inside you stirs. Not fear, But that feeling when you walk into a room and forget why you came. You look back at the window, it's shut again. You're sure you didn't close it. You move to the glass and peer out once more. The garden is still there, but the trees are facing the other way now, as if watching someone else. Just out of sight, you stare, and just before you turn away, you see it, a flicker, in the highest branch, not movement, not shape, just the impression of someone sitting in the tree, watching you. But it's already gone. You close your eyes and listen, far away. The ticking begins again, but slower, like the clock has to think before each second passes. Behind you, the corridor waits, longer than before, darker, just slightly, and the lanterns along the wall now burn a little bluer than before. You take the note, fold it carefully, and place it in your pocket beside the crushed flower. The petals flake slightly at your touch. You whisper her name, and something deep in the house answers. The corridor bends. You don't remember it bending before dotted curves like the inside of a shell. Tight, spiraled, intimate. The walls press in closer with each step, painted a soft green now. Like the color of memories soaked in rain. Lanterns glow dimly at your shoulder. They don't flicker. They breathe. You pass 3 doors, each identical, pale gray like the first. None with handles. None with keyholes, all closed, all quiet. Except the third. That one hums. Not a sound you hear, but one you feel in your teeth, in your ribs, in the soft part of your throat. The note in your pocket vibrates slightly. So does the pressed flower. You place your hand against the door, it's warm. Warmer than your skin. Like someone stood there just before you. You lean in, and the door EXHALES it opens an inch. Then another. You slip inside it's a room you've never seen before. And yet, you know every corner. The rug in the center, red with a pattern of black moons. The writing desk, your grandmother's, maybe. The faint scent of graphite and dried eucalyptus. It's a dream room. One you built long ago. Maybe as a child. Maybe in sleep. On the walls, dozens of small, strange objects. A tiny bell made of glass, a feather dipped in wax. Ribbon tied into a perfect, not a music box without a crank each. One pulses faintly with some forgotten moment. As if the room collects what you've let slip. You move closer to the desk. On it. A third note. But this one is blank. You lift it. It's thicker than the others. Heavier, too. Made of paper that's slightly damp, like it was pulled from water not long ago. You tilt it toward the lantern light. Words shimmer briefly, then fade. You try again. They don't. Return. Instead. Your reflection in the desk's lacquered surface shifts slightly. Not in time with you. Not entirely you. The face is yours, but the eyes, they're not watching where you are. They're looking over your shoulder. You turn, the door has vanished. Dot in its place. Another wall. Dot smooth. Dot wallpapered with tiny red flowers, all blooming inward. The room breathes around you, like lungs expanding behind the walls. You sit down. Dot the chair creaks, just once. It feels like the right place to wait, to listen. Dot so you do. Seconds pass, maybe minutes. Dot there is no clock here, only the soft tick from somewhere outside the room growing quieter. Then a sound. Dot from beneath the desk. You lean down. A drawer you hadn't noticed before has opened just a crack. Inside, a tiny envelope sealed with wax. No name. No writing. Just a symbol pressed into the seal. A spiral made of tiny teeth. You break it open. Inside, a fourth note. This one written in haste. Lines crooked. Ink smudged. But still hers. You read, "Not all of me stayed behind. If you find the room again, don't let it close. Leave the third note where it can find me. Your breath catches the blank note, the one that shimmered and disappeared. You reach into your pocket, but it's no longer there. Instead, your fingers close around something soft, a lock of hair. Black, curled, wrapped around a small brass pin. You drop it. It makes no sound hitting the floor. You rise. The walls pulse. The mirror across the room. You hadn't seen it before. In it. The reflection shifts again. Now the desk is empty. The notes are gone. And someone is standing behind your chair. You turn, but the room is still. Quiet. Waiting. Then the hum returns. Not from behind the wall, but from beneath your skin. The room wants something, and you're not sure if it ever wanted to let you go. You stand, slowly, as if the weight of the dream has grown heavier. The room doesn't resist you, but it doesn't release you either. You scan once more. The walls, the mirror, the desk. The note is gone. The lock of hair, too. Only the humming remains. Low, persistent, not from a single place, but everywhere. You touch the wall where the door used to be. It's soft now, not like wood, like paper stretched too thin. You push, and the wallpaper peels open. A slit, just wide enough to pass through. You don't think. You press. And the world turns inside out. You're back in the corridor, but not the same one. It's darker now. The lanterns are still there, but they hang upside down, and their light doesn't spill outward. It seeps upward, like it's trying to escape the floor. You walk. Each step sounds like pages turning. The floor beneath your feet, it feels unstable, like it remembers being something else. Water, maybe. Or memory. The corridor narrows again. This time, not claustrophobic, More like it's pulling you toward something. You feel it before you see it. Dot another table. Shorter. Plain. Dot no glass box. No feathered shadows. Dot just a folded note. Perfectly centered. No dust. Nowhere. You know that fold. Sharp. Precise. Dot it's hers. You lift it with both hands. The paper is warm, not like heat, but like something alive. The writing is in her old ink. That soft brown ink she always used. The one that smelled faintly of cedar. You unfold. For lines, you followed the dream. You kept the flower. Good. But don't trust the voice that calls like mine. You read it again. Dot and again. Each time, the third line shifts. Sometimes it says, but the flower was never mine. Other times, you were never supposed to bring it here. The ink doesn't blur. The words change. You set the note down, just for a moment. When you look back, the note is gone. Dot in its place. A photograph. Dot old. Sepia. You and her. Standing in front of a building that no longer exists. You know it doesn't, because it was torn down years ago. Dot her face is half turned. She's smiling at something out of frame. But her eyes, they're looking directly at you. You flip the photo over. More handwriting. Just one line this time. This wasn't the first dream. You know that. You freeze. Because suddenly, you do. You remember another hallway. Not this one, but like it. With wallpaper covered in spirals. A table with a brass bell. A whisper that asked a question you never answered. You remember waking from it. Sweating. Heart racing. Then forgetting within minutes. But now, the pieces float back. Like dust drawn into a breath. You were here before. You left something behind Dot, and now you've returned to find it. Behind you, a new sound. Like paper sliding across glass. Dot, you turn. The corridor is empty, but something just out of sight. Moved, you feel it. That pull, the note's energy still buzzing in your fingertips. The flower in your pocket stirs, petals crumbling. You whisper her name again, and this time a voice answers. Dot soft. Familiar, but off. Dot as if spoken by someone wearing her mouth. Not much further now. The corridor bends again, not sharply, but like a path slowly curling back on itself, as if leading not forward, but inward. You follow, because there's nothing else. Because the voice that sounded like hers has echoed into silence, and silence now feels like safety. Until you see the light. Dotted glows ahead. Low, golden. Not warm, not cold. Dot just there. A single lantern suspended in midair. No chain, no hook. It hovers inches above the floor, casting long shadows that stretch behind you, not forward. You take a step closer. The lantern dims. Dot just slightly. Dot another step. Dimmer still. You pause. Step backward, Dot, it grows brighter. Like it wants distance. Like it shines best when unseen. You speak aloud, softly, a test. Are you leading me? The lantern flickers, Dot, then pulses twice. Once bright, once dim, like a heartbeat. You approach again, this time slowly, not to test it, but to accept what it is, Dot, as you move closer. It fades until you stand directly beneath it, and it goes out completely. Total darkness. The air is not cold, but close. Like standing in a room just vacated, still carrying the ghost of breath. Then a second lantern blinks into existence, 10 steps ahead. You didn't see it appear. Dot, it didn't grow brighter. Dot, it wasn't there. And now it is, Dot, same glow. Same float. You understand. Now, Dot, this is how the dream guides you. Dot, backwards. Dot, forward. Dot, sideways. Dot, you step toward it. Dot, and again. It fades. Behind you, the first lantern reignites. Only this time. It shows something new. A shape on the wall. Dot, no. A mark. Drawn. In ash or charcoal, a spiral of symbols you don't recognize, but it stirs something. A name in your bones, a warning in your teeth. You face the new lantern. Dot, it hovers beside a door, black with no handle, words scrawled on it in chalky strokes. You've come this far because of what you kept. You glance at your pocket. The flower is nearly gone. Its scent has changed. Less floral, more old, Dot, like dried ink and sun-warmed stone. The note fragments rustle like leaves, as if waking. You place your palm on the door. Dot, it doesn't open, but something behind it shifts, and a voice hums. Not hers, but it knows her. Dot, it says, do you remember how she left? You flinch. Because no, you don't. Only that she was and then she wasn't. The humming grows louder. You close your eyes. The corridor twists in your mind, like you're being rewound. Lanterns blink out. One by one, you turn. Everywhere is darkness now. Except a single thread of golden light, not from above, Dot, but below. Dot, you kneel, beneath the second lantern. A seam in the floor glows. Dot, faint. Dot, pulsing. Dot, hatch. You brush away the dust. There's no handle. Just a shape burned into the wood. The spiral again, this time filled with writing. Dot, tiny. Handwritten script, looping infinitely inward. You lean close. The words blur, but one line holds. She left you a path she couldn't follow. Your heart beats slowly, deliberately. You whisper her name again. Dot, no reply. Only the lantern's quiet hum. As it begins to spin. Dot, slowly. Clockwise. Dot, then counter. Then still. You stand. Look back. All is blackness. Only this light remains. You lower your hand to the spiral, and the floor beneath you shudders. A breath, drawn upward, and the hatch begins to open. You descend, one step, then another. Each one creaks softer than the last. The hatch above closes not with a slam, but a sigh. The spiral fades. The lantern dims. And now you are inside something deeper. The staircase winds, narrow, uneven, carved not of stone, but of something smoother. Bone, no, but it feels like it remembers being alive. The walls breathe beside you, cool and faintly moist. The smell here is different, no longer lavender or paper. This is the scent of sleep left unfinished. Something not quite forgotten, but buried with intention. You descend. And that's when you hear it. Not loud, not near, but unmistakable. A single step, 2 seconds after yours. You pause, wait, silence, you walk again. 1 foot, then the other, again 2 seconds after you. A step, softer than yours. Like bare feet on damp wood, you don't turn. Not yet. Instead, you test it. You change your rhythm. 3 quick steps, pause, 1 slow. Then a hop. Behind you the echo follows. Matching, but always 2 seconds late. Not mimicking, remembering. Like it knows what you're about to do. But waits. You speak. Is that you? The echo stops, but only for a moment. Then 3 steps, exactly as you'd taken before. Something is watching your choices. Something memorizing. The stair ends abruptly. You step onto a narrow landing. A hallway curves ahead, lined with mirrors, but not normal ones. These are thin, tall, tarnished, and none reflect you. They reflect only the hallway behind you, but darker, grayer in each one. A lantern hovers, flickering in reverse and in the farthest glass, a figure, not moving, just standing. You blink, gone, the echo steps again, closer, you hurry now. Past mirrors that shimmer as you pass, none show your face, only shadows, only the faint outline of someone who almost resembles you. Then a door, not locked, you push it open. Inside, a circular chamber, lined with chairs, everyone empty, except one. A music box sits on the far seat, wooden, small, its lid carved, with spirals and teeth. You lift the lid, no crank, no key, but the melody begins anyway, soft, familiar. Her tune, the one she hummed when brushing your hair. When the lights went out during storms, you close your eyes and the footsteps stop. You turn, no one there, but on the ground, a damp footprint, small. There, not yours. Leading to where you stood seconds ago, the music slows, the box creaks, and you see it now, tucked inside, under the gears, a fragment of the note, burned at the edges, still legible. You'll know me not by my face, but by what I remember. You hold it to the light, it smells faintly of smoke and rosemary. The flower in your pocket is dust now. Only the note fragments remain, and something else you reach back in. A small ribbon dot red. Frayed. Knotted dot you know this, not dot she taught it to. You to tie secrets shut, but this one isn't tied by your hand. You look around the chamber dot the chairs creak dot, as if just vacated dot the echo is silent, but the hum behind the mirrors begins again. And you know the figure is walking too, 2 seconds, behind dot always. The music box stops, not with a click, but with a breath, as though it has finished exhaling something hidden. The silence that follows is rich, heavy, and it presses against your ribs like rising water. You stand slowly, the chairs in. The circle have shifted. They face inward now, toward the center, toward where you stood. And something tells you this is not their first time watching. You turn away, back into the hallway of mirrors. They remain blank, empty dot, but now the echoes are gone, dot no footsteps behind. Only the soft hush of air moving ahead, pulling you dot leading dot you follow. Round a corner, narrow, tight as a throat, and there it is. The closet dot small, wooden, tucked into the wall like it's always been there. A chain dangles from its handle. A charm at the end. A tiny carved bird, wings folded, eyes missing. You reach for it. The wood is cold, not chill, but recent dot as if someone touched it moments before you did. You pull. The door opens a crack, and wind spills out. Not a breeze, not a gust. A wind that shouldn't be there dot it carries no scent. Only pressure, like something exhaling from the deep dot inside the closet. Darkness, not the absence of light, but something living in the absence dot. It doesn't push you back dot. It calls dot soft dot persistent dot. The wind circles your ears, forming not words, but the shape of words. One, again, and again. Not spoken aloud, but left behind in the air. Dot your name dot almost dot not. Quite. You lean closer dot inside. The dark pulses. Not light, but movement. A rhythm. You reach in. Your fingers brush something. Paper? No. Fabric. It moves dot, and then a whisper. Not from the closet dot, from behind your teeth. Don't pull it out. You freeze. Then the wind shifts dot, and this time a voice, soft, whispered, familiar. Only take what was yours. You feel it now, beneath your fingertips. A ribbon, tied in a perfect knot dot, just like the one in your pocket. You pull dot gently dot, and it comes free, attached. A charm dot tiny, silver. A miniature hand, palm open. Inside its palm, a symbol etched dot the spiral, but inside it now. An eye dot open dot, watching dot the wind stops, dot abrupt dot the air stills. You stand, holding the charm dot from the closet. No more wind dot, just silence. And then a single sound, paper folding. A note slides from the darkness, fluttering to the ground like a dying leaf. You kneel, Pick it up. This one is old Dot crumpled. Torn Dot but legible Dot. And in her hand, you read, "If the wind knows your name, it means you stayed too long. If the charm wakes, it will see you before." I do. Hide what you find in the place. We never finished. You fold it carefully, Dot the charm watches you. You tuck both into your pocket, Dot the ribbon burns your skin slightly. Not hot, but aware. You stand, close the closet, and it clicks shut, Dot, as if sealed. Again. Behind you, the corridor breathes. One long inhale, and the mirrors, once empty, now reflect something, not you. But someone walking away, Dot the charm in your pocket pulses once, and the humming returns, not behind. You ahead. The corridor narrows. You move slower now, not from fear, but wait. The dream has thickened around you, folding memory into air. You follow the hum, not melodic, not mechanical, just persistent. Like something that doesn't want to be forgotten. Ahead. A door Dot half dash open, Dot beyond it. A room lit only by a single candle melting into a saucer of glass. You step inside, and you realize there are no shadows. None from your body. None from the candle. The flame glows, but it does not cast. Instead, the walls reflect light in dull waves, like water under thin ice. And directly across from you, a mirror, tall, framed in black iron. Curling into thorn shapes, it leans against the wall, slightly. Tilted Dot you approach. Your reflection does not meet you. The glass is smooth. Untouched Dot, but your image does not appear. Instead, you see her Dot, her shape, her outline, not detailed, but unmistakably hers. She stands where you should be, head tilted, eyes searching. She's holding something. You lean closer, Dot, it's a piece of the note. Torn along the top, the ink smudged, as if whipped on Dot you raise your hand. She does not. You whisper her name. Her lips do not move, but her eyes find you, and she lifts the note, presses it to the glass. You see only 2 lines. This isn't the first time, but it could be the last. Then she fades. Not all at once, Dot in fragments. Like fog burned away by invisible sun. You stare at the empty glass Dot, and now, slowly, your reflection appears. But it isn't right, Dot. The eyes are darker, older, wiser, maybe, or tired, Dot. Your mouth doesn't move when you speak, but your hand in the mirror lifts, Dot opens Dot, and offers something. A petal, Dot, just one Dot, blue Dot from the flower she pressed all those years ago. You reach for it, but the mirror cracks. Thin lines spider from the center outward. Silently, deliberately, you step back, and the mirror exhales. A slip of paper falls from the crack, fluttering down like ash. You catch it. The ink is still wet. I remembered the wrong version of you. You read it again. The words do not change, but something behind you does. You turn. The room has no door now, only a frame. Inside it, darkness, but this darkness has shape and breath. And something in it hums like the charm in your pocket. You step forwards, but the floor shifts. Not downward, sideways, the room tilts, or the dream does. The candle remains still, its flame unmoving, frozen mid-flicker. You crouch low, another note fragment has appeared. This one pinned to the floor with a needle thin. Silver. Still vibrating from impact. You pull it free. And read. You left once before, but something stayed. You are here now to carry it home. The charm burns again. 3 pulses. Then, still, the flame extinguishes without warning. And the reflection in the mirror, your true one now, stares back and smiles, but you do not. You blink and the mirror is gone. Just a wall remains, blank, breathing. The corridor beyond is open, and somewhere within it, the humming becomes a voice, and it says, "You're almost ready." The corridor breathes deeper now, not like lungs, more like the tide dotting out, in again. The walls are darker than before, but not because of shadow, because of time. You feel it in the wood, the way it resists your steps, the way each lantern flickers with a memory you haven't reached yet, and ahead a voice low, unhurried, calling your name, but not quite your name. A syllable added, a vowel bent the wrong way, like someone pronouncing it from inside a dream. You pause, because you've heard this voice before, but not here, not in this life. Exactly, in dreams. Maybe. Or from the mouth of a stranger who looked at you too long on a train and said nothing at all. You walk toward it. The corridor softens. The floor beneath your feet becomes rug, velvet, faded. The lanterns grow warmer, and on the walls, photographs, dozens, maybe more, all the same size, framed in warped blackwood, each one slightly askew. You glance at them as you pass. They're all of her, but never her face. The back of her head in a crowd, her silhouette against a window, her hand reaching for something unseen, and in every photo, the same detail, a note in her grasp, folded, unfolded, crumpled, burning, always present, always unread. You stop in front of one, she stands at a gate. One hand on the latch, the other clutching a note to her chest. You blink, the image flickers, just once. And in that flicker, her face turns, not fully, just enough, and her mouth forms a word you cannot hear, but you know it. You mouth it back, and the voice ahead laughs, not cruel, but amused, pleased, and for the first time, welcoming. The next door appears without warning, open, inside. A room of nothing but voices. You can't see them, but you hear them. layered, soft, all versions of her voice, every pitch, every whisper, speaking the same sentence, again and again. You almost remembered me. The charm in your pocket pulses dot once. Then again, you step into the room dot there are no walls dot only pages. Floating dot hundreds. Thousands dot each one a fragment, a note, a memory, a breath. Some with ink, some burned, some blank. One drifts toward you. You catch it dot, it's the last one she wrote. Before she left dot your fingers know it dot they tremble dot the words blur as you read. I stayed to remember you, but dreams have short memories. You whisper to the room. Where are you? All the voices fall silent, except one, soft, sharp from just behind your left ear, where I've always been. You turn dot no one, but something presses into your palm. The charm, you hadn't touched it, but it's in your hand now, and it's closed. The tiny silver hand that was once open is clenched into a fist. You slowly pry the fingers apart. Inside, a single seed dot black, smooth, impossible to identify. And wrapped around it, the final piece of the note. Burned into the paper itself. Plant this in the room. We never finished. And then the voice says, softly, come find it. I'll be there. The room fades. The corridor returns. And in the far distance, the faintest outline of a door. One you remember building. One you were always meant to open. The corridor ends in silence. No lanterns. No whispers. Only the slow pressure of the dream. Holding you still. The door ahead is simple. Unpainted wood, worn soft by unseen hands. No knob. No hinges. Just a narrow seam, and a single word carved. Faintly into the center, return. You place your hand upon it, dot the charm in your palm tightens. Not physically, but in sensation. As if preparing to open again, you press dot the door swings inward. And the dream folds open around you dot. It's a room without time dot, not old, not new. Just paused dot inside. Everything is the color of paper left too long in the sun. Pale yellows, soft browns. Memories faded to the edge of forgetting. A table sits at the center. Not ornate dot familiar dot the table she used to write at. When she still left notes tucked into your coat. When her handwriting meant mornings and mischief. Upon the table, one final note, fully written, sealed with a red thread. No name. But it's meant for you. You sit. The chair groans, not from weight, but recognition dot you pick up the note, unwind the thread, and unfold. There are no SMUDGES dot no burns, only her voice, quiet on the page. I never left. I only hid where you'd forget to look. In dreams. In wrong rooms. In the hush behind your name, you carried the pieces here. You held them through the static. And now, it can finish. Not the memory, not the sleep, but the waiting. You glance around the room. Everything glows faintly, as if lit by fireflies. Tucked into the walls, dot at the far end, a shape. Her chair, still turned toward the window. She's there, dot, not moving. Not quite real, but not absent. She breathes. Just once. And the charm in your hand unfurls. The silver hand opens. The seed rolls free. You walk across the room. The floor creaks in a rhythm you remember. The windows show nothing, only soft gray mist. You kneel beside a crack in the floorboards, the one you used to hide things in, the one only she knew. You plant the seed, dot, it sinks, without help, dot, as if it belongs there. And the room exhales. The glow dims, dot, then strengthens. The woman in the chair. You can't call her. Not fully, not anymore. Turns her head. Not all the way. Just enough. And in the smallest voice, not whispered, not spoken, she says, "You took longer this time." You approach. She doesn't fade. Doesn't vanish, dot, she watches you like the moon watches the tide. You kneel at her side. She places a hand on yours. And there, on the table, a final scrap of paper, unfolded, blank, waiting. She nods. And you know it's your turn to write. The table is still. The note waits. You breathe once. And the paper stirs as if expecting your words. But the dream does not press you. It lets you rest here. In this room, where the past folded itself carefully into every crack. Every thread of silence. The seed beneath the floor begins to warm the air, not with light, but with a hush that grows softer than memory. She does not speak again. She does not need to. Her presence is steady, like a forgotten lullaby that returns just before sleep. And you realize now, the dream never needed to end. Only to be witnessed. You close your eyes. The note at your fingertips. The ribbon still tied. The charm now quiet in your palm. This room, this moment was never lost. Just waiting for you to return. So rest. Little wonder. Let the echoes fade. Let the darkness bloom like wildflowers in your thoughts. And when you breathe again, do it slowly, softly, let the sleep take you gently. The hollow will hold the rest, it always does, it always will. The tale has ended. Now sleep, if you can. I'll be just beyond the veil, listening.